the red flag, the 4 red lights. We race. Fantastic launch from Stan Pex from the inside third row of the grid. Stan the man rockets up into 4th place. The Saudi karts go through in 2nd and 3rd, but it's the Kart Republic of the pole sitter who's got P1. He gets the whole shot as they go down into the pit hairpin for the first time. Stan Pex on the outside, an ambitious attempt to try and pass his countryman, Senna van Walstein. It does not pay off. Denner's there as well. Ippolito down through the chicane, goes defensive in the early stages of the KZ2 final on still cold Lacon tyres. There is Danilo Albanese, position 4, down the inside. He's gone through and done it. Ragged sideways. Ippolito is getting mauled by the Saudi kart team drivers. It's like a demolition derby in the opening stages of the race. We've lost one of the SP karts in the background. It's Chris Hanen together with Slavik Pudyatin. It is on in the opening stages of the KZ2 final. Both Chris and Slavik do rejoin, but they're way down the bottom of the field. What a start here. Senna goes through. He's got the lead. Stan Pex up over the ripple strip. A violent right for Stan Pex. Now he's in the grass. Pex aggressive in the opening stages. This is one of the messiest starts. Let's take a look at the replay. From pole position, Ippolito straight over the ripple strip, did not lift. Denner and Senna van Walstein, Emilian in kart 2 and Senna in kart 1, comes across the line, and the Dutchman has got P1 as we finally settle down into some sort of rhythm. Ippolito P2, Albanese at P3, stand down the inside, trying to take Thomas Humberg. He's done it. The 2 Kart Republic team drivers trade positions. Albanese goes by and takes Paolo Ippolito. Matteo Zanchi for Zanchi Motorsport, the modern powered CRG kart. In position 4 at the moment. Senna's driving away from this battle. There is Emilian Denner, who won this race in 2022, frustrated in position 5. Behind him is Pex, then Dale, Marcus Gayak. Jurid Pex, Jenna Civico, Arnold Speck, and Giuliano Holzam. I'm pleased to say that Lauren Speck has got off the line well this time. There's the Tippy Kart driver across the line now. The German in position 14 after 2 jump starts through the week. He is quick, set fastest lap of the race a couple of times throughout the heats, but 2 5-second penalties, 1 in the heat and 1 in the pre-final this morning. We see Lauren Speck. He's the ham in the sandwich with Giuliano Holzam ahead and the Roman Francesco Iacovacci just behind in the DFM cart. Move down the inside from Denner. Zenki closes the door, but loses out. Look at Stan launch around the outside. That was fantastic from Stan. He said, I'm coming through. And if it doesn't work out, they both would have ended in Ilione Shopping Centre. Fortunately, it paid off. And Stan Pex, that was a classic. Ole Vinco, Ole Capoto, proprio. Stan Pex in position 4 for the SP Motorsport team. Down through the chicane, the loser out of that was Matteo Zanchi in kart 26. Took his final heat victory yesterday. The modern powered CRG kart back into position 6. As the 2 Kart Republics work together, Danilo kart 20, Paolo kart 21. Both from Tuscany in the central north of Italy. Senna van Walstein from on the outskirts of Amsterdam for the Saudi kart team, racing together with CPB Sport in kart 1, in position 1. Stand across the line. Of course, he won this, the WSK Open Cup in 2020. Colombo taking the title in 2021 and 2019. Riccardo Longhi, the first edition of the WSK Open Cup back in 2018, the single race event. The retirements thus far, Slavik Podjatin and Chris Hanen, they came together on the opening stages of the race. They did manage to rejoin, but now they're both out. Unfortunately, Samuele Leopardi, the young Italian, also for Zanchi Motorsport, who has been so impressive this week, has had an incident. He is still circulating, but he's way down in position 33. There's Stan under attack from Emilian Denner, the 2020 WSK Open Cup champion. Stan now with a 45.617. That was an outrageous move a few moments ago from Stan. Now looks over his shoulder. Back to Emilian Tenner, two of the toughest drivers in world motorsport. I'm not saying karting, I'm saying in motorsport full stop. Just altogether, Stan Pex. It's easier to pass a kidney stone than it is the Dutchman. He's in position 4 in kart 13. A ruthless move down through the chicane as he rounded up Zanki on the outside. Drove straight over the ripple strip, rallycross style. It paid off, and Stan sets the fastest lap of the race. There's the study car behind of Emilian Tenner. Matteo Zanki still there in position 6, and now a 45.542 for Stan, who's 0.2 of a second faster than the leaders on your screen. Senna van Wallstein in the study car. The two kart republics of the two drivers from Tuscany, Danilo Albanese and Paolo Ippolito. The European champion in position 3. Danilo Albanese, as you look at Stan Pex, he's actually won the Rock Cup International Final at this very circuit 3 times, among other titles throughout his career. He's been on this podium multiple times in KZ2, in WSK, and at the moment he's honing in on the back of the Dutchman, Senna van Wallstein. We start lap 9 of the 29-lap final, another fastest lap. Stan Pex is rocketing around the circuit. He's left Tenner behind. The Frenchman now half a second behind Stan, who's coming for the two kart republics in front of him, who now trade positions. Paolo down the inside, takes his teammate Danilo. Ippolito, P2, Albanese, P3. Down the hill they go, Senna van Wallstein. That gives him a little bit of breathing space. But the problem is, the Kart Republic drivers are working together. Shake and bake for Danilo and Paolo. In 2nd and 3rd, it's a Kart Republic in 4th, of course, with Stan Pex. Powered by the TM. Ippolito and Albanese, both with IAMI power. 45.515 now for Ippolito, who's in 2nd place. There's Stan Pex. The gap critically between Stan and Albanese is 1.1 seconds. Denner P5. Dalle now goes up into 6th place. He's now the 3rd Italian. Andrea Dalle there is the CRG driver of the tallest driver, the CRG kart of the tallest driver in KZ2. Right behind him, Zanki, Hamburg, Genes Civico, JPEX in P10. We're about to move into the second half of the final here this afternoon. The order to the left of your screen, Senna van Wallstein, 0.2 of a second ahead of Ippolito, Albanese, Pex, Denner. There's Dalle in the background. Stan with a 45.507, goes purple again. That's something like his 4th fastest lap. Stan Pex will be absolutely ruthless if he catches up to the trio in front of him. 2 Tuscans, 2 Dutchmen inside the top 4. 3 kart republics, but the race being led by the TM-powered slotty kart Sigma of Senna van Wallstein. He is the reigning WSK Supermaster Series champion, although we saw his chances of retaining the titles slip away last week at Sano with an incident in the opening stages of the race. He's under pressure now. Here comes Ippolito. He's got the speed, the Italian on the back of the Dutchman. Stan is coming up 45.5 again. For Stan, he's bridging the gap. The SP Motorsport entry, his older brother JPEX in position 10. Down through the chicane. Into the second half of the final. Round 1 of the WSK Open Series for 2023. Albanese is just sitting there, waiting for his teammate to make a move. Stan, we go to Denner in P5, the 2020 WSK Open Cup champion. Unlikely to take the victory here today, but we've still got the second half of the race to go. Denner, that is, in P5. Thomas Hamburg, his teammate, P9. Head of JPEX, Arnold, Marcus Kayak has fallen outside the top 10, the Estonian. Racing for Kenneth Hilbrand, who actually took the title back in Malaysia, the first ever junior road tax champion. Now mentoring, managing Marcus Kayak, who was in the top 3 earlier this week, but now he's fallen outside the top 10. He's in 12th, head of Holtzam, Speck, and Sandro Holtzam. So we can say it legitimately this time. Lauren Speck with Giuliano Holtzam in 13, Sandro Holtzam in P14. Speck is the ham in a Holtzam sandwich. 45.4 for Stan. The gap is 0.6 of a second. The Kart Republics 2, 3, and 4. Here he comes. He's left Denner behind. Stan is catching. He will be in the battle for the lead here. The Soddy Kart of Senna retains the lead, just under enormous and increasing pressure. From not 1, not 2, but now 3 Kart Republics. There is Stan Pex, accelerates, comes across the line. As you can see, 8 laps remaining, 7 laps remaining in fact, as they start lap 15 of 21. Round 1 of 4 for the 2023 series. Over the ripple strip goes Ippolito. You see Albanese look behind. He knows Stan's coming. He'll almost be able to hear the TM engine, together with his own Miami-powered KZ engine on the Kart Republic. Denner P5 down through the chicane. Senna, one of the fastest kart racing drivers in the world, in position 1. But the fastest driver on the circuit is Stan Pex with a 45.440. He's catching. There's Stan in P4. Millimeters, we'll check the gap. 0.24, stays roughly the same. Surely Paolo will make a move. It'll have to be an almighty dive down the inside. Senna Van Wallstein has got this under control at the moment. He has not made a single mistake. Slides on the exit as he races down the hill. Keeps it under control on the rubber line down through the chicane. Denner helpless in position 5. Mattia Simonini has unfortunately also retired, together with Slavik Kutyatin, who was P3 in the WSK Champions Cup. The Falcon Racing Car team driver is out, as is Chris Harnan, whose teammate is in position 4. We'll check the gap. A 45.4 though. I don't need to tell you the gap, because Senna puts in a purple lap. He's pulling away. Is it all over for the Tuscans driving the Kart Republics? Senna Van Wallstein in the final quarter of the race says, "Come and catch me, boys." He goes purple. Ippolito Albanese driving the wheels off the Miami-powered Kart Republics. Senna with a 45.439 is the quickest driver here in the north of Italy today. The Dutchman for the French team in the north of Italy goes P1 with now 4 laps remaining. The gap 0.352. Stan, that's it for the second Dutchman. Here's Dali going through in position 6, head of Zanki, Genesivico, Hamburg, JPEX P10, Arnold P11, Kayak, Giuliano, Sandro Holzam, Lawrence Speck in the Tibi kart, and the Romanian Francesco Iacovacci in the DFM kart, behind the 2 German brothers. There's Genesivico down the hill. Thomas Hamburg, Matteo Zanki, JPEX, that's Stuart, head of Felix Arnold, Marcus Kayak. The KH Racing entry, the Estonian. One final shot now for Paolo Ippolito. The gap 0.2 of a second, it's not over yet. Now Paolo takes a 1/10 of a second out of Senna. One final shot to win round 1 of the WSK Open Series. He's almost close enough. Now it closes in on the back. The gap was almost 0.4 of a second. And now Ippolito is on the back of Senna Van Wallstein. Hold on to your seats. Here we go. The dying stages of round 1 of the WSK Open Series. Senna knows he's there. For the first time this race, he's looked over his shoulder. Ippolito has got the Dutchman rattled. Watch Albanese, if it's not a clean move, if he does attempt it, well, Danilo will be right there to pounce. There's Dunpex, helpless in position 4. The penultimate lap. Senna Van Wallstein slides sideways down through turn 2. The LeCompte tyre has been absolutely tortured. Down through the gearbox, looks over his right shoulder. Paolo, centered down the inside. Senna closes the door. There's one attempt. It did not work for Ippolito. Senna, absolutely brilliant defense from the Dutchman. The Lacan tyres being tortured as they cope with 50 horsepower going through the rear axle of the Sodi Kart and the 3 Kart Republics behind. The final corner, the final chance. It's time to break out the famous line. Dit is de laatste ronde for the pilot van the Netherlands in the eerste positie. Can he do it on the last lap? He's won so many races for the French team. He has to defend not from 1, not from 2, but from 3 Kart Republics. That was an opportunity. Ippolito can't do it. They race up the hill. Watch Senna van Wallstein throw it down the hill on the rubber line. The Sodi Kart hooks up. He'll stay in the middle of the circuit. Down through the chicane, he turns in. 3 corners remaining. Ippolito, it will be one almighty dive. He tries it. Senna closes the door. 2 corners remaining to the checkered flag. He can't do it. Senna van Wallstein, the Dutchman, wins round 1 of the WSK Open Series, withstanding enormous pressure from 3 Kart Republics. Ippolito P2, Albanese 3rd, and Stan home in 4th place. Senna, superb. And the Dutchman wins round 1 of the WSK Open Series for the Sodi Kart racing team. Ippolito, 0.21 of a second behind, through absolutely everything of the Dutchman. Drove the wheels off the 21 Kart Republic, couldn't do it. Albanese P3 for the Kart Republic team. Senna wins here at South Garda Karting. And this is how he did it. Coming across the line, the victory was at 0.21 of a second over the 2 Italians in the 2 Kart Republics. The TM-powered Sodi Kart in position 1. Senna van Wallstein also with the fastest lap of the race of 45.439 versus 0.446. Ippolito on 0.484 for Albanese. From the start, Ippolito from pole position launched down into turn 1. Senna was sideways on the exit. It was one of the most ragged starts, one of the messiest starts we've seen in many a while. Claiming Slavik Kudyatin and Chris Harnan before the end of the first lap. That was a ruthless move from Stan, who just sent it from a mile back, straight down the middle, split them brilliantly. And with that, he went up into position 4. Was starting to make inroads on the 2 Kart Republics in front, but couldn't quite do it in the end, coming home in P4. Behind Albanese and Ippolito. The gap went out to 0.4 of a second, and then in the dying stages, it closed right down to just a few centimeters. Senna withstood the pressure, and Van Wallstein wins round 1 of the WSK Open Series here on a beautiful winter's day in the north of Italy. Van Wallstein, van the Netherlands, P1 for the Sodi Kart racing team. Ippolito, the Italian for Kart Republic, on the podium with his teammate Albanese in 3rd place. Stan ahead of Emilian, Andrea Dalle, Jenna Civico, Matteo Zanchi, Thomas Hamburg, and welcome back to JPEX in position 10. Arnold Holzheim, Speck, and Giuliano Holzheim, the 4 Germans ahead of the Roman Jacobacci, Algret Lomko, Lucas Shabinskas, Luigi Di Lorenzo, prima gara WSK per Luigi, davanti a Ethan Frigomosca, Schuring, Lamartina, Drew, Omar avanzato, bravo Omar, Marat Niles, Federico, Diana, Philip, Jakub Wojcic for Jastrzębski Racing. Leopardi, an unlucky run for him, finishes ahead of Elkshire and Victor Torkin. So Senna van Wallstein again will stand on the top step of the podium.